Jan 2008 Core 2 question 8. The first 6 marks really are just basic. Have you learnt what your notes? So do you know what these things are? No thinking involved, but a 3 to the x graph. It's a whoosh graph. It's a whoosh graph starting close to the x-axis and whooshing across there. And all of these, they always pass through 1 because 3 to the power of 0 is 1. There's 2 marks for that. One for it crossing here, one for the right shape, making sure it gets close enough to the x-axis here. And then we got our transformations. We know they're going to be stretches, they're going to be translations. This one here, look, the x is changing to a 2x. So it's an x, it's a stretch in the x direction. 1 mark for this. Nobody should have got that wrong. I know sometimes you get the scale factor wrong, but it's a scale factor of half. It's not the 2, it's a half. This one here, the x is changing to an x add 1. So again, you know it's something changing the x direction. It's an adding one this time, so we're talking about a translation. And it's a translation in the x direction, 1 to the left. I mean, that's basic stuff from the notes. The second part of this is slightly more challenging, I accept. And we're looking at y equals 3 to the power of x. And you look at these things here, you see, well, I can't see any there at all. But you know it's a quadratic, so if y equals 3 to the x, have a think to yourself, what would y squared be? Well, y squared would be 3 to the x all squared, and 3 to the x all squared would be 3 to the 2 all to the x, just switching those things over, and that's just the same as 9 to the power of x there. Hey, 9 to the power of x, that's what we've got there. What about this other one? This other one says 3 to the power of x add 1. How could you split that up? Well, you could say that this is the same as 3 to the power of x times by 3 to the power of 1. And that thing there is y. So we've got 3 times by y. So this quadratic rewrites it to be y squared minus 3y plus 2 equals 0. And of course that factorizes to give what you wanted there. It's only worth 2 marks, so don't get bogged down in that. You could actually do this anyway. It says hence show that this. So we've now shown, we know that this is the same as that. So if y minus 1 and y minus 2 equals 0, we've got 2 answers. Y equals 1 or y equals 2. But what was y? Y was 3 to the power of x. If 3 to the power of x equals 1, then x must be 0. Anything to the power of 0 is always 1. If 3 to the power of x equals 2, then we need to find out what x is here. We have to do a log, won't we? A log to the base 3 of 2. And a log to the base 3 of 2, just tap into the calculator, gives 0.6309 to 4 decimal places. Now this bit here actually gets us 4 marks. That difficult bit there was only 2 marks, and that bookwork bit here was 6 marks. You could have got 10 out of 12 reasonably quickly. Answers here, there's the sketch, and here's the second bit there. And there's our answer, 0.6309.